This is a documentary on the French Revolution by Oriolua Adebayo. The French Revolution in the years 1787 through 1799 were the results of many factors. The key factors to this revolution were crop failure in 1788, participation in the American Revolution causing the government to be at the brink of bankruptcy, resentment from the bourgeoisie for being excluded from political power, the French monarchy being no longer seen as divinely ordered due to inability to adapt to social and political pressures, the growing popularity of intellectual power works on social reform, and widespread inequality between the rich and poor, and the growing dissatisfaction with outdated feudal systems among the poor. These factors are the results of things changed in France and the start of a new era within France. In the years 1786 and 1788, King Louis XVI appointed different ministries to deal with the financial crisis. In result, they were unable to persuade the aristocracy and the church to pay more taxes. This then led to the Parliament in Paris to declare that only the Estates General could institute new taxes. On July 1788, King Louis XVI agreed to gather the Estates General together. The Estates General were in three sections, the first estate being the clergy. The second estate was made up of the nobles. The third estate represented the entire kingdom that were not in the first and second estate. When establishing the estates came the issue of voting for the laws. While the third estate wanted to vote individually, where their membership would dominate over the first and second estate, the nobles wanted to vote by estate, which still would cause them to be outvoted. This resulted in the formation of the National Assembly. The National Assembly was made up of the third estate that included local officials, professional men, and lawyers who refused to sit in separate order by the king's desire. On June 1st, the Third Estate invited the clergy and nobles to join the new legislative body that was declared the National Assembly on June 17th. When the National Assembly found themselves locked out of their meeting room, they moved to a tennis court. This is where the tennis court oath took place, where they swore an oath to continue there until they gave France a new constitution. June 27th, the king asked the first and second estate to meet with the National Assembly, where they would vote by head instead of estate. The National Assembly became the National Constituent Assembly when King Louis XVI asked nobles and the remaining clergy to join the assembly. On July 11th, Louis XVI ordered the National Assembly to disband. July 14th, the mob stormed the Bastille prison to get arms to protect themselves from the king's forces. The Great Fear of July led to peasants rising against their lords. This caused the nobles and bourgeoisie to be afraid. August 4th, 1789, the National Constituent Assembly abolished the feudal regime. August 26, the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen that proclaimed equality, the inviolability of property, and the right to resist oppression. The king refused to authorize decrees made on the 4th and 26th of August. King Louis XVI remained the head of state, and the National Assembly held the legislative power. On June 20th, 1791, Louis and his family, along with his despised Austrian queen, Marie Antoinette, tried to flee France, were captured. With the new legislative assembly, they wanted to spread the revolution across Europe. April 1792, France had declared a war on Austria. As the war had gone badly, causing Louis XVI to be blamed, he was then accused of treason, which led him to be stripped of his title and imprisoned. The new National Convention declared France a republic and abolished the monarchy in September 1792. January 21st, 1793, Louis XVI was guillotined. Maximilian Robespierre began the Reign of Terror on September 5, 1793, in response to foreign troops invading France. Around 14,000 to 40,000 counter-revolutionaries were slaughtered. France remained in the hand of Robespierre's grip for 10 months. He was captured and beheaded. Once the Reign of Terror was over, France had some peace, but remained at war with Great Britain, the Netherlands, and Spain after the execution of Louis XVI. In the year 1795, a new constitution was adopted with a Directory. In the Directory, 5 men were elected from the National Assembly. 4 years later, Napoleon Bonaparte and his army overthrew the Directory. Later, Napoleon declared himself Emperor of the French. The French Revolution was a pivotal point in French history. Over 10 years of the Revolution, they achieved many things. By becoming a republic, establishment of civil equality and radical social change, abolishment of feudalism and the monarchy, also had some restraints in which during the Reign of Terror, 300,000 was arrested and resulted in 25,000 deaths, and being at war with other countries including Austria, Prussia, and Great Britain. In the end, the revolution served its purpose.